Welcome back, my lovelies. I am so excited that you are here. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Shelly and I'm a flight attendant and I do fly for a major US airline. Now, if you guys are interested in knowing more about the industry it takes to become a flight attendant, how do I train to actually become a flight attendant, what does this training involve, also what do I need when I'm gonna go through an interview, like I need to understand what the questions are gonna be, how I'm gonna reply to them. Now I'm sure you have plenty of questions. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, give me a like. All right guys, with that said, today we have an exciting subject. Today we are going to be talking about flight attendant and Southwest. Now Southwest, how exciting, is about to open their doors tomorrow. Early morning, we don't have a time yet, but we know that it's gonna end at 1 o'clock Central Time. Now, if you've seen my video on Instagram and also on TikTok, I do actually reminding everybody is to get on it, get your resume, you guys, get it all ready, go on the website. I will have the link down below in the description box, so make sure that you click that and attach your resume now. Now, you're gonna have to click that send button when they do open tomorrow, the 26th of September, 2023. So if you're watching this, you guys, and it is the day after 26, it is too late. They will only open their window for probably, I want to say, 2 to 3 hours. I know usually that's when their computers get swamped with applications. Sometimes it does bug a little bit, sometimes it takes time to get through, but you will if you're persistent, you guys. So just stay by your computer, you guys, and once you get the okay, just click that little submit button and submit that resume to Southwest Airline, a flight attendant position. I am so excited to welcome you guys to, again, my channel, and I am excited to have you guys today with me because we're going to go through all the prerequisites and what you need in order to be a flight attendant. So let's get going. All right, guys, you are back. So we are going to talk about some of the prerequisites before you do apply. I want to make sure that you are the proper age, that you understand what the bases are. I want you guys to just kind of not go blindly and be like, oh, I didn't know that. I want you guys to apply and be comfortable with the prerequisites and know what it is they're expecting from you. Now let's get started here. You must be 20 years of age or more. So you have to have turned 20 by the time that they hire you. So make sure that if you are 19 but turning 20 maybe tomorrow, that's okay. Usually the turnaround is pretty quick. So if you're applying now, they may call you within a month. They may call you within 2 weeks. I don't know. It all depends on, you know, how many applicants they've accepted and they are going through. Also, make sure you guys have an amazing resume. Okay, I specialize in doing your resume, and what I do is I put keywords in your resume to make sure that it goes to the top. So you'll probably be one of them that will be called sooner than others. Make sure you have a high school diploma or a GED, you guys, or the equivalent. Okay, so you need to have that at the time of your application. You have to be legal to work in the United States. Very important. If you are not legal, please do not apply. They will ask you for your papers to make sure that you are legal. So make sure you have that as well. You must be in possession of your US passport or a foreign passport. You have to have some kind of passport, you guys, in order to travel. We do go to different international destinations, so it's important that you have it and it's up to date. Now, if you know that your passport is expired, please do not renew it literally like the day before you apply. And I'm saying this because right now with applications, as far as passports concerned, takes time. There is a process where you can get it the same day. It does cost a lot more. I think it's about $60 to $70 more for on top of your application fee to get your passport. Plus, it doesn't mean that it'll happen right there where you live. I know that I needed my passport immediately. I had an emergency to Canada, and what I did is I flew all the way to San Francisco from where I live in order to get my passport the same day. So it's really important that you understand that it's not necessarily where you live that you can get the passport the same day. So you may have to fly somewhere to get your passport the same day if they have appointments available. I called and I think they had Hawaii available and they had San Francisco, and it wasn't for another 2-3 weeks for me to actually do that same day application. And I'm sure you'll see one of my videos. If you go through my videos, you'll see that I do talk about how, you know, we were able, my kids and I, to get the passport the same day, but it was just a whole process. We had to sleep there, wake up early, go to an appointment. It was an all-day ordeal. It was very expensive for all of us, but we needed it right away. So I say that if you don't want to pay that extra dollars, you guys, just make sure that you've done this process prior to applying, because it may take time. Normally, without the speeding process, could take you at least, I think, between 3 to 6 months to get your passport back. And now I heard that it takes even longer. So if it does take you up to like 6 months to a year, hopefully not, but you know, you need to have it valid the minute that they do hire you. So that's really important. You guys, you need to have a flexible schedule. If you are going to be just doing this work, a lot of the times, unexpectedly, you are asked to leave on short notice. You're giving a few hours. You need to be either at the airport or you need to be on a certain flight at a certain time. You know, and they are going to call you last minute, especially if you're on call. If you're on standby. So there's a lot of things that go into it. So it's really important that you guys understand that you need to be flexible. If you're not, and you're very organized and you like to plan your day every day and you don't like that, maybe this is not the job for you. So make sure that your schedule is flexible before applying. You have to be fluent in English. This is very important. All right, I do suggest that if you are not fluent and you have an accent, that's okay. It's okay to have an accent, but you have to be able to express yourself freely. Now, if somebody is going to be asking you a question during the interview, the interviewer wants to understand that you understand the question and that you are able to answer, you know, comfortably. You're not just struggling looking for words and not being able to find the right vocabulary. It's really important because they want someone that can express themselves freely. Now, if you're from another country and you do have an accent, that's okay. Like I said, accents are fine. It's just that they want to make sure that your English is your third language and you just haven't mastered it yet. They want to make sure that you are comfortable with your English speaking, you know, language. Now, you must have also a perfect vision. Now, they're okay with a vision correctable to 20/40, but you need to have a good vision. If not, then make sure you wear glasses so that you're not blinded by what's going on. They will not check that. I don't remember getting a test as far as vision is concerned, but make sure that if you do not see well, make sure you get your eyesight corrected prior to your interview, just in case they do decide that they're going to check that. We never know, right? Also, you have to maintain a well-groomed appearance, you guys. Don't go there with stinky hair. You know, you haven't showered that day, you're smelly, especially during your interview. You are in contact with a lot of people, HR, the interviewers, you have other flight attendant candidates. You want to make sure that your appearance is clean. All right, so you're physically washed that morning, really important. I know you're probably thinking, well, I was in a hurry, I ran. Just make sure you bring your deodorant with you, all right, during your interview. They used to do interviews over the internet where it was one-on-one or on the phone. Face-to-face was happening on the computer or via Zoom. They no longer do that. They actually want to meet you now. So it's a little more stressful because it was nice to just be home in the comfort of your own home and be able to interview. Now they want to see you, so they will fly you to actually meet you. And there's going to be a lot more candidates there with you that are just as nervous, so don't worry. But make sure that your appearance is clean, you guys. Your hair needs to be tied up. Everybody wants to see a beautiful face, right? Not like this. You don't want to be talking this way. Make sure that it's pulled up, all right, or tied in the back, or this is lifted, as long as your face is showing. And then you don't have a lot of makeup. We don't want red lipstick with red blush, and you don't want to overdo it and look like a clown either. Okay, you want to look professional in a professional attire. This is so important because first looks are very important. And if you guys want to go through the next level and you want to get your CJO, make sure that your appearance is on point. You want to have the ability to pass a background check. What I mean by that is if you've had any arrest and you pled guilty, or there's some, you know, things in the background that you want to hide, they will find out. They will take your fingerprints, they will run your background check all the way up to 10 years prior. And if you've had any arrests, even prior to that, they will see it. So you need to divulge it, you need to be honest. And it's really important, you guys, that if you've had any convictions, those need to be told. Now, they will decide if that conviction and how it weighs on their end, and if they do want to allow you to move forward. Now, from my knowledge, I know if there's a conviction, obviously you may not be able to move forward. I think those were one of the questions before you get flown to the interview, okay? But since you are applying for the first time and attaching your resume, just understand that if you've had any past arrests, those will show up. And if you do lie, that's something that will be caught, you know, as they do their background check, and you will be disqualified from even being a candidate of theirs. So make sure, you guys, that you keep an eye on that and you are honest, okay? So I'd rather you be honest and they decide what they want to do with you, either moving you forward or not. Then I'd rather you do that than not be honest, and then it just kind of comes back and bite you in the butt later on, okay? So very, very carefully be honest when you do answer questions online, especially when they ask you about your arrest. You will be asked to do a medical test as well. So they will try to find a place around your home that will do testing there. So you might go through a urine test. I don't know if they're going to do a blood test, but I think it's mainly urine. They want to check for anything that has to do with drugs, or maybe, you know, any type of drugs that you may be on. Now, if you are on medicine or medication that may disturb or may mess up the results, definitely divulge that during your application. They will ask you, are you on any medication at the present time? If they do ask you that, then be honest, because oftentimes these medicine will show and may give you a negative outcome when they do test your urine, okay? Also, they will drug test you. So the medical test and the drug testing, I don't recall what it involves. I remember I don't remember if they took a blood test, like I said, but I do remember the urine test. Now, I don't remember any other tests just because it's been a while for me, but definitely expect a test. And just know that if you are hiding the fact that you are smoking weed or doing stuff like that, it's okay. I mean, not that it's okay, but they will see it. Now, if they don't see it and you get away with it, that's great, but you will be randomly tested as you are working as a flight attendant. Now, you can be flying in, I don't know, like Houston, and as you get off the plane, you will be escorted to the bathroom. They will ask you to urinate, and they will ask you for a sample. I don't know if it's going to be a blood sample. I've never been through the random testing, but they will randomly test you just to make sure that you're not on anything. So if that morning you decided to smoke and you didn't want to, you know, maybe you have a prescription for smoking marijuana, they will test you and they will find out that you were on that. Now, although it is legal for some of you to smoke marijuana, they do not accept anyone smoking that kind of stuff as a flight attendant. So if you needed to relax, or if you needed, because it is a medical condition, they still do not approve of that as of yet. So although it is approved within the United States, it isn't approved for you to take it while you are working, or even when you're not working, because it stays in your system. So just so you know, FYI, if you do get tested and you test positive because, hey, this was something that was medicinal and it was something that was prescribed, it is not justifiable and you will lose your job. So just wanted to give you an FYI on that, because a lot of people ask me, hey, well, isn't it legal? It is legal if you have a prescription, but it isn't legal for Southwest Airline. They will not accept the fact that you need it for medical purposes because you aren't well or there's an issue with you. They do not allow that in your system while you are working, just so you know. To be able to lift 50 pounds, you guys, they will test you on that. They will have a suitcase or something heavy that they will ask for you to lift. Now, they will give you a little chance here. They will have a little, either a little desk or a little counter or a chair where you can actually put that suitcase that is pretty heavy on there in order to kind of prepare your grip and your grasp and your lift prior to. So they will help you with that. It's not something that you lift from the ground up. Nobody can do that. They are mimicking the airplane. If you were to lift or help a customer or a passenger with a heavy suitcase or a carry-on, obviously a carry-on, not a suitcase on this, you know, on the plane, but always have the ability to put that carry-on onto the seat, and then from the seat into the overhead bin. And so this is what they're mimicking. They're giving you a little platform for you to lay it on, and then from there you need to be able to lift it up. So they will test you on that 50-pounder. So just make sure that you are able to lift that. If you don't think you are, just practice at home, go to the gym, get a 50-pounder weight, and just kind of go for it. All right, practice. So you need to obviously be comfortable in all of those different function. So if you're able to kneel and lift, to be able to meet the physical requirements, which means you need to be able to reach the overhead bin. If you guys don't reach them, then there's a problem. Just because part of our job is to close the bins before we leave and help passengers with their carry-on. So it's really important that you can reach the overhead bins. You guys stand for a long period of time too. So if your legs start hurting after a while, just try to get really, really good shoes, you guys, because you will be standing literally the entire day, okay? And when I say the entire day, you will be standing the entire day. So just expect that as a flight attendant. So let's talk about your weight should be in proportion to height. What they are saying indirectly is if you are 5'5" or above, they do expect you to be, within the average weight. Now, if you go to your doctor and your doctor says, okay, so you're not within the average, a little bit overweight, just make sure you control that weight prior to being hired. If you are a little bit on the heavier side, I'm sorry to say, and I know it's pretty direct, but they will not hire you just because there are requirements. You need to be able to get through the exit door, okay? The exit door is super small. They will also ask you if you can, and they will physically watch you as you exit this cardboard door. It's a cardboard layout, and they will ask you to get through that hole that is there, that is held. If you can't, then you cannot. You are not meeting the requirements necessary. Also, if you are seated in the jump seat, there are 2 people seated at all times. If you are next to a flight attendant that's a bit on the heavier side, there's less seat for you, and it's very uncomfortable. So you have to understand that it's not that you are heavy, that we do not want to hire you. It's just a question of it is not functional, and it's really, really hard to perform your duties if you are on the heavier side. It's not that we want to discriminate. I think it's more that, it could be a safety hazard if you are probably not proportional. That's all they're saying. Now, can you have a little 10 to 20 pounds heavier? That's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. So you want to make sure you're somewhat comfortable with different reaches and different activities, okay? Because you're gonna have to kneel a lot to actually lock the door. So if you're not comfortable with kneeling, this is something that you are faced on a daily basis. So it's really important that you understand that. About how you need to walk and fit comfortably down the aircraft aisle while facing forward. Fit quickly through the overwing window exit, which is what I was talking about, and fit into and fasten their jump seat harness without modification. What they're talking about is when we have passengers that are a little bit on the heavier side, oftentimes their seatbelt don't close, so we do need the extension for them to be more comfortable. Now, if you are on the jump seat, you are not allowed to use any type of extension for you to be more comfortable in the jump seat. So they will not give you that extension. You have to either fit in it or you just don't get hired or you can't work any longer. So it's really important you understand that. So stay within a healthy weight, you guys. Exercise, eat healthy, especially when you're on the go. Just don't turn to all this fast food because you do tend to gain weight faster, especially when you're on the go and you're traveling. You're just grabbing whatever you see, and it's very easy to gain weight. So just try to stay and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so you are allowed to have earrings as long as the earrings aren't big. They're not accepting loops or anything dangling, okay? Something like I have is perfect. It's very tiny. It's within the area of my lobe, and no one can actually grab it or pull it, or it won't be a hazard. And no visible tattoo. If you have a tattoo on your arm and you can cover it, great. If you have a tattoo on your hand, it needs to be hidden. I don't know how you're gonna do that. A lot of people have I don't know, some hand glove or something. They're like cut here, and I don't know. If you have tattoos, just try to cover them, you guys. If you have them, don't go to the interview showing them all on your neck and whatnot. Try to camouflage them as much as you can. Don't lie about those. If you have them, try to remove them before you do apply because they will see them. They're not stupid, especially when we're doing the water drill. They will see them again and you might get in big trouble because you got to cover them again there. Against, you know, that thing 19. I don't want to say it because I don't think YouTube is okay with talking about that, but definitely you guys make sure that you are completely in your booklet and that you have copies of that. Okay, that's really important. You want to make sure you're immune so that when we do, right now, there's not that many pressure done, whereas you have to have it. I think it's a little more lenient now, but they still want you to have it. Southwest Airline also prefers candidates that have the following. Now, if you guys have those, it'll kind of help you to the very top, okay, as far as your application is concerned. Now, if you have previous aviation industry experience, they love that, all right? Unlike the preconception of what other airlines would be saying, because I've trained with other airline and they would say, we don't like other airline employees because when they are set in their ways, it is hard to train them and give them new commands to learn because they are stuck to the old command. And it's really hard to break them into our new airline policies and requirements and training and whatnot. So that's why they didn't like it. Now, Southwest is saying, we love the fact that you have airline experience. So if you are a prior flight attendant, this is going to help you move forward. They do like that. They want to make sure that you've, you know, touched the industry a little bit and you know what you're talking about and you're comfortable being a flight attendant. So previous aviation industry experience is a plus. Secondly, additional education beyond high school. So if you had, you know, college degree, university degree, you know, anything that is above high school will also bring your application to the top. They like to see that, you know, you've taken time to be at school a little more, you're concentrating on something, you were trying to major in something. It also will bring your application to the top. Also, 1 year or more experience working in customer service and a guest care. Now, if you've had prior experience in a job that is more than a year, you are definitely, again, moving to the top just because as they see that you've had interactions with customers, they understand that that'll be easier for you to transition from your old job to being a flight attendant because it is all about customer service. It's all about pleasing our customers. It's about giving our passengers a great experience during their flight. So if they see that, they'll be very excited about that. Now, the Southwest Airline application process. First, you're going to apply online. So make sure you guys, tomorrow, you have that resume ready. You're going to attach it online tonight. And tomorrow, you're going to hit that button as soon as the application process opens. Now, again, I don't know what time, but I know that it ends at 1 o'clock Central Time. Okay, just remember that. Now there's going to be an online assessment. So once you apply online, you will receive an online assessment. Now what I'm about to say to you right here changes all the time. They change it like they change underwears. So one day it could be that and another it could change. So do not say, well, Shelly said, and it's not that, okay? Because it changed. This industry changes all the time, you guys, just like our PAs. You could be making announcements one day, you learn them by heart, and the PAs changes the next day because there's new rules and regulations. So just know this industry is very unpredictable. All right, so online assessment, okay? That you're gonna get an online where you might have to answer questions. Now you're gonna get a telephone interview. Back in the days, this is what they did with me. All right, there's a telephone interview and they want to talk to you. They want to make sure that, you know, you are who you are. Are you personable? How does it feel talking to you? Recruiters are incredible, you guys. They are patient, they are loving, they are wanting you to do well. They're not there to judge you. So just understand that when you are going through your interview, they are there to support you. They are very positive. They will not make you feel like you've been judged. Just so you know, it is a great experience. It was one of my most favorite experience to actually be interviewed by Southwest. Next, once you do the verbal interview and they really like you, they will tell you, congratulations, you are moving on to a personal interview now. So that's when you're seeing someone face to face. Now you can either Zoom it. Back in the days, they did a few years ago, we had no choice. We couldn't really see each other. There was mask and situation. This time they will fly you at their own expense. So it's not your own expense. They will pay for you to fly to Dallas and get an interview and meet HR. Once you're done and you get your CJO, you get all excited. Even before your CJO, you will be asked to perform some standard proficiency assessment and background checks. Okay, so at this point, sometimes you already have your CJO and they will perform your background check. Sometimes they still are going to do a physical performance. You're going to go through some steps there, and then you get your CJO, or sometimes you get it before. So that kind of, I'm not sure what process is still happening here, but sometimes they do it before your CJO, sometimes they do it after. So you may or you may not go through all of the standard proficiency assessment until after you get your CJO, because they will call you back to go there to just do your physical and come back. Okay. And then you get your email saying, congratulations, we've done your background check. Everything is checked out. We loved everything about you. Now you are attending initial training. So that's the exciting email that everybody's been waiting for. And then you attend your initial training in Dallas. After passing all the interviews and all of your exams and submitting all the relevant paperwork and doing all your physical testings and doing the background check. Now, Southwest Flight Attendant School, all right, is actually accepting you on a conditional job offer. This is what we call the CJO, conditional job offer. Now, they're giving you this job in condition of, so you have to promise them that you will do the following. First off, you need to make sure that you pass a 4-week training, you guys, okay? This is how you're gonna get your CJO. Again, they will fly you and they will provide a hotel for you to stay comfortably, either with a roommate or not, it depends. But you will be staying in one of their 2 or 3 hotels that are nearby the training center. You will be provided also transportation. A bus will pick you up in the morning. It will be set what time it is that you are being picked up. So you will get a sheet with your schedule, but you always arrive on a Sunday, a day before training, which is on a Monday. So you get there the day before, get settled in, and you start training the next morning. The first few days are very easy. Not the first few days, the first day. So you get a lot of introduction to what Southwest is all about, their culture. You're introduced to their HR department, people that are going to be supporting you, so you get a lot of speakers, you get a lot of material. Pay attention, have a great time, meet everyone. They are watching you, so make sure that you pay attention to that. Your posture, the way that you express yourself, the way that you are. It's a long day. It's very taxing. Then after, on the second day, you're already starting your schedule. So you're either decided if you are going to be an AM or a PM class. Now on the first day, everybody has a morning gathering. Like I said, everybody gets to meet everyone. But on day 2, you're already starting your schedule. So if you are in the AM class, it may be 2 AM that you're starting your training. If you are on the PM class, it could be 1 PM in the afternoon. So 1 PMs or the afternoons could change. All right. AMs could be 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I don't know. It all depends. But you do have to wake up early because the bus will pick you up early, especially if you have a 3 AM show. It'll pick you up super early so that you get in class on time. So your flight attendant training is not paid. Your living expenses are covered. You're going to have food and accommodation will be covered as well. They will give you a stipend, which is kind of like a little gift card, and they'll give you so much money to spend daily. Now, if you are one to spend a lot of money on the first few days, you might burn that card up. They do give you, I think, up to $50, but they do ask you to keep it under $25 daily. So that's really hard to do, especially if you're eating twice a day. So I always suggest that you may have to bring your own money to just kind of bring in some food and let it be at your own expense at night. just because you want to keep that money for during the day, maybe to grab a lunch downstairs at their cafeteria where the training center is. They have so much variety there. If you're not a barbecue kind of person, you can do a sandwich. I mean, it's huge. This place is so huge that you can just pick from whatever foods that you want. But definitely try to keep your spendings under $25 a day for the 4 weeks. Mine ran out and I had to pay my way. My last few days, I had to use my credit card for food. So if you want it to last, then great. If not, then again, try to keep your expenses low. Don't go buying alcohol and doing crazy things with that credit card. You know, they have, I think there's a maximum of $900 or $800, depending if you're AM or PM. I think PM get less just because they wake up later and they don't have to eat that many times is what I understand. But if you're AM, they do give you a little bit more money-wise on your card. Just understand that people have been fired during training. Either they came in not prepared, they did not know their PAs, especially I think it's given on day 3, sometimes day 4. They do give you a chance. They do want you to come back the next day and perform them in front of a classroom. If you still don't know them, you are sent home. So it's really important you do your homework before you do go to training. Don't expect to go there and learn. You are under so much pressure, you are tired, and it is not time to learn it right there and then. When you do arrive, you are going to be very exhausted and it is very taxing. Okay. Just understand that you need to get all that ready in your brain before you go to training. So important. A lot of people leave and go home. I don't want you to think this is an easy 4 weeks. They are not trying to make it easy. They're making it hard because they understand that once you do graduate and you become a flight attendant, that's when the fun begins and everybody wants to be a flight attendant. It is a very competitive world and there's always a process of elimination and they want to make sure that they keep the best. So make sure that you are right on point, you are on time. Make sure that even though you're waiting for that coffee, but class is starting in 2 minutes, don't take a chance. You're going to the bathroom, there's a long lineup, but class is starting, leave that lineup, go back to your classroom. Always be on time, show them that you are dedicated, and I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. You're going to graduate, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. Okay. Again, during training, you guys, you have to maintain a 90% and up. Anything below 90% may send you home, okay? You might get 1 trial per category. So if we're doing proficiency, you are allowed to fail 1 proficiency and they will give you a retrial. If you do fail that retrial, you are sent home, okay? So just make sure that you nail every single thing, study, study, study. Okay, it's really important, and try to maintain that 90% average. So important. Once you do accomplish the 4 weeks, once you do fulfill your 90% per, test and proficiency in finals, you do graduate, you get your wings, which is so exciting. Then you get your OE, where you were tested up in the air. Usually they just throw you with a crew and you're just kind of shadowing and doing your job, but you mainly shadow because you're kind of doing some stuff. They will kind of give you some leeway, but they want to make sure that they're doing their job. So you are there, you're doing different positions of the plane. So you're going to work the front on one flight, you're going to work the back on another flight. So they just want to see how you are doing, and they will mark you and see how well you did. And then same evening, you fly back home. And then the next morning, you give your supervisor the envelope and you let them know, hey, you're not allowed to open them. And they will open it for you and they will see if you've passed or not. And if you haven't, they will bring that up to you, and you may not go through the whole graduation process because your OE wasn't, successfully accomplished. On graduating, a flight attendant gets a beautiful bonus of $1,200. Once you receive your wings, you're already working on the line. I think it's 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to get a beautiful bonus in your bank account of $1,200. So training is not paid, but you do get that little bonus in your bank account upon graduating. You're on the line, you've passed everything, you're finally done, and then you have a long 6 months of probation. Now, mind you, probation is very important because they are watching you. You are working now. They're watching that you are on time. They're watching that you are doing everything you need to do. They're watching them, making sure you're closing your door, that you're behaving properly. So they're all watching you. Now, the thing with Southwest is while you're on probation for 6 months, everyone is watching you, and they are they can report you every time you fly on a flight. Now, let me explain. If I am assigned a trip for the weekend and I fly out on Friday, the people that I am flying with are more senior, and they will receive an email, and the email will say, how did Shelly do? We really want to know. Did she need improvement? How was she as far as with other customers? Was she personable? Is there anything about her that you need to tell us? Now, everybody in the plane gets this email that is flying with you. So you are constantly being watched indirectly. So if you're not getting along with someone, they will make sure to tell, and they will fill out this email that they do receive after every flight, and they will fill it out and tell the supervisor exactly what they are noticing about me. Now, if there's anything wrong, they will call me in the office and have a discussion one-on-one and see what is going on. Okay, so don't think that you're for 6 months on probation and no one's watching you, nobody cares, and you can do whatever you want. It doesn't work like that. Okay, just understand that you are being watched 24/7 with the crew that you're with. They are receiving those emails and they are evaluating you at all times. Okay, so it's really important to take this job seriously. Once you're done with the 6 months, you guys, ta-da, you are absolutely done. You get to continue with your schedule, but again, you're not being watched anymore. Now you're helping the newbies that are coming in, and now you got to watch them because you're getting that email to kind of judge, to make sure that they are doing their job, and you're more free to do what you need to do. You're enjoying your perks and your benefits, and it's just a great job to have. But you've gone through so many steps in order to get there, you guys, but it's so worth the hard work. Nothing comes easy, but once you do, you're just like, ah. What questions should I expect when Southwest Airline interviews me? Now, that's the question I get all the time. This is why you hire me, you guys. I have all the questions in my little pocket where we can do a lot of Q&As. I can teach you exactly how to answer those very, very difficult and tricky questions, what they're expecting from you, how to rephrase them, how to take your answer and make them into what they are expecting. Now, again, you guys come to me. Like I said, I can do your resume, whether it's for Southwest or, you know, it could be any other airline. It could be JetBlue, it could be Delta, it could be American Airlines, whichever airline you are needing. I am here for your resume needs as well as your coaching. So before you go and interview with any airline, please come by and see me. Visit me at flywithshelly.com, and I will help you with your coaching one-on-one. We could do it via Zoom like now as you're seeing me today, or we can do it on the phone if you're more comfortable. So either way, check out my booking sessions, book with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this informative video. I am looking forward to sharing more of my knowledge regarding the application process. But in the meantime, don't forget, you guys, apply tonight. Make sure you have your resume ready. And if not, you can always ask me to do your resume tonight. I mean, I can have it done by tomorrow morning, but it would have to be a rush resume, which is on my flywithshelly.com website. And you can always book me for that as well. All right, guys, love you so much. Stay tuned. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to my videos. And we're going to have more videos regarding what are they asking in the interviews, how to process these questions, and how to find the answers. All right, stay tuned. See you later. Good luck, you guys. Bye.